Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotivePlus. So what is the Tesla good for? You know, the little beginning of the video gives you a little bit of an idea of what I think it's good for. And no, it's not only returning things to Lowe's, although that's what I was doing today with the car. I actually took my truck earlier. For those of you that don't know, I also have a 2025 Toyota Tacoma. It's the TRD off-road version, and it is on my Rob Motive channel. So check that out if you're interested. Yeah, I know it's not an electric vehicle. It's not even a hybrid, but I have varying tastes, right? Anyway, I was taking some stuff back to Lowe's today, and I got to thinking, you know, what do I do? What is the Tesla good for? For me anyway, and maybe for a lot of you out there as well. Although I know there are going to be some folks that completely disagree with me. So what do I do with my Tesla? Well, I use it primarily as an errand runner. You know, if I'm going to go to the store, like Lowe's back there, or maybe if I've got a dental appointment, doctor's appointment, something like that, grocery store, maybe even hauling other people, right? I find that with my Tacoma, the other vehicle that I have, people often have a difficult time getting up into it. It is lifted a little bit. It's nothing huge or anything, but it is lifted a little bit, and I find that people do have some troubles. This car, they can get in easily. And another problem with the Tacoma is the rear seating area is tiny. And don't get me wrong, it's not like we've got a cavernous void back here to sit in the Tesla either, but it is easier to get in and out of, and I think there is a bit more leg room back there. So that's what I do with it. I use it as a daily driver. Now, you might be wondering, you know, what about trips and things like that? And I have talked about this on the channel before, long distance driving in the Tesla. It's just not for me. You know, I like to be able to charge at home, right? I know my charger works. I know how fast it charges. I know how long I'm going to have to wait to use it, which is no time because I'm the only one using it, right? So I don't have to worry about any of those things. I also know exactly where it is. I don't have to depend on the navigation system. I guess I'm a bit of a control freak, right? I don't have to depend on the navigation system to take me to one somewhere that hopefully isn't full. And people say that, well, when you plan your trip and Tesla kind of maps out the charging stations based upon your range and all that stuff, it takes into account how many people are there, making sure that the chargers are working, what kind of charger you're going to. It'll tell you how long it's going to take and all of that stuff. But my big problem with that is it's only good to tell you the things that it knows in the moment, right? I mean, if I'm following, I don't know, some other cars that maybe aren't going to that station, or maybe they don't need to be charged, but they just kind of decide along the way that they're going to stop and top it off, you know, Tesla's system is not going to know that, right? So it's possible that I could pull in behind one or two other Teslas or electric vehicles of any kind that might be pulling into that station, and then I'm going to have to wait. And that's part of the problem, I think, too, of other vehicles using Tesla's charging stations, right? I mean, is that integrated into the Tesla navigation system? So if somebody's driving some other brand, it's not a Tesla, and they're programming all their stuff in and they know where they're going to go, does that system and Tesla's system talk to each other so that the system you're using is going to know when there's 10 other people heading to the same charging station you are, and that they're going to get there before you, or even that they're already there? I assume the station itself will communicate with Tesla's system, so even if a non-Tesla is sitting there charging, the station is going to know how full they are, right? The other thing is time. You know, I don't like to sit and wait. I'm very impatient, right? I don't like to sit and wait for things. So pulling into a station and having to sit there and wait and charge, I know the big argument is, well, if you're on a long distance trip, you can get out and stretch your legs and have dinner and, I don't know, take dancing lessons. Who does that? And do all kinds of these other time killers. But that's what you're really doing. You're wasting or killing time. I don't want to kill time when I'm on a long distance trip. I want to kill miles, right? I want to get from where I am to where I'm going as quickly as possible. And driving in a Tesla or any electric vehicle that has to be charged, is not as good as driving in an ICE vehicle, a gas-powered vehicle, one that you just pull in, fill up, you got to use the restroom, whatever. I mean, how long does it take realistically? 10, 15 minutes if you're doing that? You're at least double that. And on a long distance trip, it's going to add a lot of time. I don't want that. I know I kind of go on about this because I just don't understand folks who don't care about the time, I guess. I don't know. Again, impatient. Otherwise, the only other thing I really use the Tesla for, I guess, is just simply driving. You know, I like to drive. I remember way back many years ago, before I got my driver's license, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get my driver's license and have that freedom and be able to take off or just go drive around, experience the experience of it, right? I still love that just as much. Going out and driving is fun for me. I enjoy it. And the Tesla makes it even better because it's fast, it's comfortable, it's got all the latest and greatest tech stuff in it, so I can play music, stream stuff if I want, or turn it off and just listen to that little bit of a sound that I get out of the motor here or there. Kind of depends on where I'm at. And of course, the wind noise. Let's talk about wind noise for one quick second. Only because I hear people complain about that. The Tesla is so loud. The noise is so bad. It's a car. You're on the road. You're out in the elements, right? The tires are spinning. They're slapping the pavement. You're going to have sound. I mean, if that drives you nuts, I suggest maybe buying a Lexus or an Audi or something that's known for more quiet rides. You're not going to get what you get in a Tesla, in my opinion, but it's an option. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, kind of talk about that for a minute. I'm curious to know what you folks do out there. Those of you that actually drive Teslas, what do you use them for? Are they just an errand runner, a go-getter for you, or do you actually take them cross-country and sit at those charging stations and it's really no problem for you? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.